In 2008, an investigator with the Humane Society of the United States worked undercover as a laboratory assistant at one of the world's largest primate research facilities. Part of the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, the new Iberia Research Center houses nearly 6,000 monkeys and more than 300 chimpanzees, an endangered species.
Who are you?
Most of this research is for pharmaceutical companies. The main law intended to protect these animals is the Animal Welfare Act, which sets the minimum standards for the primate's care.
In 1985, 24 years ago, there were amendments to stipulate that research facilities had to account for the psychological well-being of primates.
But at this facility, the investigator documented hundreds of possible violations.
A major finding of this investigation is the severe psychological distress these animals go through on a daily basis, to the point where they're self-mutilating.
For example, the investigator watched as chimpanzees were subjected to severe distress from fear of being shot with the dart gun and then going through the pain of being hit and falling to the cement ground beneath them. When protocol says you can't use sedation, the monkeys are yanked out of their cage and forced into a restraint chair.
There's an issue of physical pain, and certainly we saw evidence of self-mutilation and other problems with the primates and the chimps. But I think the larger issue is the psychological torment. Animals isolated, kept away from others who can give them companionship, fearing what's going to happen next, and animals living in this constant state of confinement.
More psychological distress when newborns are taken from their mother for experimentation. Other babies are used in experiments while they're awake and alert. This research is not only scientifically questionable, but ethically as well.
When you look at the ethics on this question, we must compare ourselves to what other developed nations are doing. And there's not one other developed nation in the world that is subjecting chimps to invasive experimentation. The other nations of the world have gotten beyond this for ethical reasons, for cost reasons. It's now time for us to catch up with the rest of the developed world and end the use of chimpanzees in invasive research.
And there are those chimpanzees desperate for physical contact. Siafu, at 28 years old, was fascinated by the investigator and tried communicating with her. It was later learned he may know some sign language.